Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we're talking about a topic that affects us all at some point in our lives, and that is giving up too early. So whether it's a goal that you've set for yourself, or a project at work, or even in a personal relationship, I think we've all been there. But why do we do it? Why do we give up before we've even given ourselves a fair chance? And more importantly, how can we overcome it? So let's dive right in, not waste any time. One of the main reasons that people give up too early is fear of failure. This fear can stem from a variety of sources, such as past experience of failure, low self-esteem, or a fear of judgment from others. When we're afraid of failing, it can be easy to give up before we've even given ourselves a fair chance, rather than risk facing disappointment or judgment. So another reason that people give up too early is just a plain old lack of motivation. When we don't have strong enough reason to or desire to pursue something, it can be difficult to find the energy and focus needed to keep going. So without a clear motivation or a goal, it can be easy to become demotivated and give up way too early. So I think lastly, difficulty in dealing with failure is also a common reason people give up way too early. So failure is an inevitable part of life and a natural part of the learning process. But for some people, experiencing failure can be so overwhelming that it causes them to give up altogether. This can be due to a lack of coping mechanisms, and maybe an inability to handle disappointment, inability to learn from failure, and not seeing it as an opportunity to grow and improve can lead to giving up way too early. I think the generation coming up with all the participation trophies and all that, they're in for a rough ride, because life is not about participation trophies. It's about failing, and you're going to lose, and you're going to have to get through it. And I think a lot of people aren't prepared for that, unfortunately. So giving up too early, it can have a significant negative impact on our lives in the form of missed opportunities, especially. So when we give up on something before we give it a fair chance, we're closing the door on potential success and accomplishments. This can lead to regrets later on as we wonder, what could have been? What could have been if I had only kept going? So another negative impact of giving up too early is low self-esteem. So when we give up on something, it can be easy to internalize that as a personal failure rather than recognizing that it may not have been the right fit for us. This can lead to negative self-talk or a lack of confidence in our abilities. Low self-esteem can affect various aspects of our lives, including relationships and career progression, and making stuff work online too. So giving up too early can also cause a sense of stagnation in our lives. When we avoid taking those risks and pursuing our goals and aspirations, we limit our potential for growth and personal development. So we might find ourselves stuck in a rut, feeling unfulfilled, and that's not a good thing. Giving up too early can not only stop you from reaching your goals, but can also limit your personal growth and make you feel stuck in a place you don't want to be. So that said, what are some strategies in order to get through giving up too early and maybe stick with it a little bit longer? I think one effective strategy for overcoming the urge to give up too early is setting realistic goals. So this is horrible online because you see a lot of people with a lot of screenshots of some gigantic numbers that they may or may not have done, and that's unrealistic, and that makes it difficult for you to complete the tasks necessary to get there, even to a small percentage of what they've done, because it's an unrealistic goal. So when our goals are too ambitious or unrealistic, it can be really easy to become discouraged when progress is a lot slower than expected. But by setting realistic goals, we can take into account our own abilities and our own limitations while still pushing ourselves to grow and improve. This can help to maintain motivation and a sense of accomplishment even when progress is slow. Especially in my world, accomplishment can just mean taking action. And when you take action, you're going to succeed. And once you get a little bit of success, it just snowballs, right? Another important strategy is building a support system. So having a group of people who believe in us and support us and our goals can make all the difference when it comes to pushing through difficult times. This can be a group of friends, family members, or even a therapist or a coach. So they can provide encouragement and help us stay motivated and on track even when things get tough. And this is why I have a group coaching program for this very reason. It's to support people because I've been there, I know what they're going through, and it's very difficult. Additionally, Learning to cope with failure is an important part of overcoming the urge to give up too early. So failure is inevitable. It's an inevitable part of the learning process. You have to accept that failure is not the end of the road, but it's an opportunity for growth, and it's crucial. This can be done by reframing the way we think about failure, creating a plan of action for how to bounce back when things don't go as planned, and giving ourselves permission to make mistakes. Now, a couple examples, okay? One example of a famous person who faced adversity and is still doing it, whether you believe in her views or not, is J.K. Rowling. So before Harry Potter, before that became a worldwide phenomenon, she was struggling as a single mother who faced rejection from multiple publishers, but she didn't give up. And instead, she continued to pursue her dreams of becoming a published author. Her persistence paid off, and the Harry Potter series is now one of the best-selling books of all time. In fact, go to Universal Studios, they have like several parts of the park dedicated to Harry Potter. My kids love it. It's crazy. Another example is Oprah. So she faced many challenges early on in her life, including poverty and abuse, but she didn't let that hold her back. She worked hard, and through her determination, she became one of the most successful and basically influential people in the entire world. So she's got that talk show, she's got a production company, she's got a magazine, she's also got her own TV network now, where she does a lot of those, she brings on talk show people, and she's, like, have you heard of Dr. Phil? Well, that's because of Oprah. If you heard of like Dr. Oz, well, that's because of Oprah. And there's many more too that are all because of Oprah. So that's another great example of somebody who just didn't give up when the going got tough. Another one of my favorites to talk about is Michael Jordan. So he's an example of another famous person, basketball player. He faced adversity, but he didn't give up. So despite being cut from his high school basketball team, he continued to work hard and pursue his goal of becoming a professional basketball player. Grade 9, he was cut. And I'm sure that coach now is like, what was I thinking? But I mean, at the time, maybe he just wasn't good enough. So his relentless efforts paid off. And he went on to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time, with a record of 6 NBA championships and numerous other accolades. And it's all because he got cut in grade 9. Me personally, just talking about basketball, I went to a camp one summer. And this was, I think, it was between grade 8 and 9. Or grade 7 and 8. No, grade 8 and 9. And I had just had my growth spurt. I was about 6'4", 6'5", weighed 150 pounds at the time. And the coach, one of the coaches said, "You've got a lot of potential, but you're too skinny. You got to hit the weight room, kid." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I played a bit, and I was getting pushed around a lot. And I was like, I didn't like that. And the coach just kept saying, "You got to fight back. You got to fight back. You got to push back. You got to fight back." And I'm like, they just like have 50 pounds on me. They got like 25 pounds of muscle on me. I can't do it. And so they're like, "Well, when you get back to your city, go join get a membership somewhere." So I ended up going to the YMCA, got a membership, and I worked out like crazy all through high school. And I became one of the strongest kids, I would say, in the city. I ended up winning the MVP of the city. I was really, really good at what I did. And it was all because that coach told me, "Hey, you got to hit the weight room, kid. You're too skinny." And I took that personally. And I was like, I basically use that as motivation to keep me going. Anyway, another example of somebody who did not give up too early is Steve Jobs. So we all know him, co-founder of Apple. He's a prime example of this. So I don't know if you know, but he got fired from his own company, but he didn't give up. He went on to create Next, which later helped in Apple's resurgence. He also acquired Pixar, which has become one of the most successful animation studios in the world. So Pixar has done a lot of movies over the time, and if you have kids, you've been to a Pixar movie. I really like them too, because they actually give the kid side, and they weave in a little bit of adult humor too, which makes it kind of funny. So I think overall, these examples just demonstrate that achieving success and overcoming adversity often requires persistence, hard work, and just a refusal to give up. No matter how challenging the obstacles may be, it shows that success is not instant and often requires perseverance, grit, and continuous effort to achieve it. These individuals serve as inspiration for us not to give up on their dreams and aspirations, even when faced with difficulties and setbacks. So giving up too early can hold us back from achieving our full potential and living our best lives. But with the right mindset and strategies, we can overcome it. You got to remember, progress and success often are slow, and not always linear. And in this time of instant gratification, it's very difficult for people to accept that. But giving up too early will ensure that you don't miss the chance to reach your goals. Okay, so I've run a group coaching program basically where I teach people how to create their own Etsy and Shopify store and fill it up with print-on-demand products based around the holidays and times in between. It's a great community. It offers $1 trial to get in for 7 days. But the thing is, I've seen way too many people quit before they even try with it. I've seen people that join under the $1 trial, and the only time I hear from them is when they're like, hey, how do I cancel? This isn't for me. And I'm like, it's really sad. Because in the online world, people want instant gratification. And when they get into a group coaching program like mine, where I'm actually honest, they realize, hey, this is a lot of work. And some quit. Now, I'm not a fan of those people, but I get it. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.